Hello. Okay, we're doing this from my phone. I couldn't get this to work on the laptop for some reason, so we are winging it now. I had a nice presentation for you and everything, but it looks like we're doing it the old school way. I'm going to give it a short amount of time to let people join. Joshua's here. Before I get started, I don't want people on the replay to get bored. So I'm going to read from my lovely presentation that you now can't see, and we'll get started. I'm very excited to have you here. We're going to cover the ADHD energy equation, how to use dopamine and nervous system science to build real motivation. We're going to cover the nutrition focus connection, how to eat for stable mood, reduced overwhelm and fewer impulsive choices, and the ADHD consistency code, how to create effortless structure even when executive function disappears. I can see 2 people are on. Woo! Welcome. I cannot see names, so if you could comment and say hello, then I can say hello to you. Hi Tasha, I can see a name. Welcome, excited to have you here. I'm sorry that I can't share my presentation. I had to go live on my phone instead of my computer. Oh, this is exciting. I haven't been live for a really, really long time. I used to do it all the time. Bear with me. We have snacks all over the place now. Okay, so I will get started so that people on the replay don't get bored. I'm Rosie. I am a multi-passionate entrepreneur. Excuse me. A mentor for late and self-diagnosed ADHD women. Hi Becky, welcome. Founder of the ADHD Body Bible, which we will be talking about in a bit. The Blonding Studio is my other business. I'm a hairdresser. And I'm a mum of 6. So life is hectic. And they're all neurodivergent, of course. I'm here to show you how to stop hating your ADHD and start harnessing it, because it can be a rough journey from realizing your ADHD to getting your diagnosis to then figuring out what this even means for you now. And I've been there. It was rough. It sucked for a long time, but I figured it out. So there'll be more about that in a second. So let me know, those of you who are here, I would love to see some hearts or some comments if you resonate with any of this stuff. Have you ever felt like you are constantly trying to catch up with everyone around you, like you'll never succeed? Your relationships are a mess, your house is a shit tip, still there. You're so forgetful, you wonder if you've actually got Alzheimer's. I went through that for a while before my diagnosis. Feels like food is your only source of comfort and it's ruling your life. Every thought you have is about food. You're exhausted from putting in what feels like 150% effort to only get 50% of the results of everybody else, and everyone else is like, you just need to try harder. Yeah, people just keep telling you to try harder, but you're like, I'm already putting in like 150% effort. Sorry, Natasha is tipping my phone, and it's not happening. Like, it's hell. It's exhausting and demoralizing, and you can't physically give anymore when you don't know how to work with your brain properly. It's one of the most challenging things I think we go through. We receive so many criticisms throughout our lives for not being able to do what other people can do, for being too much, too talkative, too scatty, too forgetful, too uncaring, supposedly. And you feel like all you're ever doing is just trying to be more and more and more and more and more for everybody, and it's not working. So you're not alone. We live in a world that expects us to function like neurotypicals, and we spend our whole lives feeling like we're broken. Apparently I have a slow connection, so please let me know if you can hear me okay. And it's not that we're broken, it's that we have brains that function differently, and we'll get into that more in a minute. And then I'll get ahead of myself if I don't stick with my slides. So I was diagnosed about 10 years ago. I was breastfeeding at the time, so I couldn't take medication. And my psychiatrist, he was a bit old school. He's seen a couple of my friends since, and they're like, what the hell? He's a dinosaur. He called me a product of my generation. He told me to get off my phone, spend more time with my partner. And although I couldn't take the medication, hi Sarah, I asked him, can I have some sessions for coping skills? I need to know how I can, like, live my life. If I can't have medication, I just need some help. Like, I don't know how to keep doing this. And he said, no, I'm just charging you, try mindfulness. So I left that appointment feeling just distraught. I was like, I was waiting for the moment that I could understand what was going on, what was wrong with me, and B, find a solution. And he just wasn't prepared to offer me any kind of help at all. So I left that appointment feeling like, what the fuck am I going to do now? Like, what? I was in tears. I was devastated. And so that was kind of a bit of a breaking point. The rest of that year turned into a shit show. My relationship broke down. I fell out with some family members. I felt like my whole life was crumbling down around me, and it took a mental health breakdown for me to realise that something had to change. I broke it off with my partner, who we're now back together. He moved out, and really dove into learning how to really thrive with ADHD. It was a lot of research, a lot of discipline, a lot of really going within myself, soul searching. I call it my dark night of the soul. It was the most difficult thing I've ever been through, but also the best thing I've ever been through. And it was ultimately what started my relentless journey to learning how to thrive with ADHD. So everything I bring to you in this masterclass and any of my content is around my journey, my personal experience, as well as the research I've done, the clients I've helped. Like, it all ties together from my own experience that I really just want to prevent everybody else from having to go through. Because ADHD, unsupported, can be really destructive, but supported with the right education, with the right understanding, with knowing how to work with your brain, can be the most incredible thing. I'm going to upload the slides into the group later so you can actually see. So after years of obsessive research, I learned that ADHD brains are motivated by novelty. So anything that's new and exciting, reward, we kind of want to see instant results. I'm sure you can relate to that. If it's going to take you a long time, or you're not sure if you're going to get the reward, you're like, nah, I don't need to do that. It has to be interesting to us. So if it's boring, we don't want to do it. Or urgency. How often have you found that you've left really important tasks to the last minute and you're like, why do I always do this? What's wrong with me? If I could just space it all out and do it consistently, then I wouldn't be so stressed. This is all how your brain works, and it's nothing wrong with it at all. You just have to learn how to work with it. So it can be about making mundane tasks feel more rewarding, making them more exciting, implementing strategies to bring all of these kind of pieces that we need to get stuff done into your day, making things interesting. And actually, with the urgency side of things, go with it. Honestly, go with it, because what you will find is that if you're paying attention, even though you're doing things at the last minute and you've rushed it, you've still done a pretty good job. We're very good at that. Our brains really kick into action when we've left something to the last minute. And so it's not a bad thing. Just because neurotypicals do things really consistently, they've kind of got this constant low level, like, productivity about them, whereas we're like, not a lot, more than humanly possible, not a lot. And actually what you'll find is in that more than humanly possible phase, you've done more than most neurotypicals would on their little constant productivity line. So the less you fight that, the less stressful you find it, and the more you realize that actually I can do this, I can do it last minute, and I'm going to do a really good job of it. Like, some of my most last minute uni assignments, the ones I cracked out over a weekend, I got the highest scores on, because that's how our brains work. And once they've switched into action like that, we can just access so much focus. So don't fight it, go with it, and you will go far. With the right nutrition, our struggles melt away. So anyone who's followed me for some time will know that nutrition is like the main thing I discuss most of the time. Excuse me one sec. This is one of the first major steps I took to healing my own, I don't want to say healing ADHD, it's still obviously there, but getting the best of my brain. Some studies have come out recently talking about how ADHD genetics have been around since the Neanderthals walked the earth. and that actually our ADHD traits made us really, really incredible hunter-gatherers. They did some simulation studies with people who are diagnosed with ADHD versus neurotypical people, and it was kind of like a video game where they had to go forage for food, and they found that the impulsiveness of the ADHDers actually made them better at finding food. They collected more because they were able to scan their surroundings more quickly, collect as much food as possible, and move on quicker. Whereas the neurotypical people spent too long searching in one place trying to find the food. And so what they've kind of concluded is that what's called impulsive in today's world was actually us just being quick thinkers and quick movers. And so actually we were part of the proliferation of the human species. So how that relates to nutrition, and this is kind of the connection I've made based on my understanding of human evolution, our genetics, what we're primed for in terms of nutrition, is that we are the original hunter-gatherers, and so we need to eat like hunter-gatherers. And so I'm not saying be super strict in one way. One thing I help people with is figure out the best diet for them. But ultimately, we are people who thrive more on a lower carb, higher protein, higher fat diet. Doesn't necessarily have to be keto, but it can be. It can be more of a paleo type diet. It can be a keto diet. It can be carnivore even. But we really thrive that way. And human brains thrive on ketones, not carbs. We've spent our whole lives being told that our brains need glucose to function. That's actually really awful for our brains. Alzheimer's is being called type 3 diabetes because it's when the brain becomes unable to use glucose for energy. And actually we find that the science is now showing on a ketogenic diet, we are reversing or at least managing multiple neurological conditions and improving the quality of life of people who follow it. And so without going too science heavy on you, I don't want you to check out because you're bored. We really have to step away from the standard Western diet that is not doing us any favours at all. And I'm guessing that you have experienced kind of this constant brain fog, fatigue, feeling unmotivated, maybe low mood, poor sleep, just feeling like not good, you know, like just that fuzz wading through, it feels like wading through sludge sometimes mentally. And that is what the standard Western diet does to us. So I discovered over this kind of healing journey that really diet has to be step number one for managing your ADHD better, bringing out your strengths and reducing your challenges. And the reason these diet types work so well, hope you can't hear all that clattering in the kitchen, it's my daughter. She is doing the dishwasher though, so we'll let her off. Is that blood sugar dysregulation drives inflammation, and inflammation is what's going to cause that brain fog that you feel, the tiredness, the fatigue, the feeling like you can't get your thoughts out, like you know you could just achieve so much more if you could only focus, if you could only do it. That sense of like, oh my God, I'm behind, but I just can't pull my thoughts together, I can't do this. Have you ever sat staring at a computer screen like, what the fuck, I know what I need to do, but I can't make it come out of my head. Or whether that's looking around your house thinking like, oh my God, I just don't even know where to start. The right nutrition just cuts through all that. It just makes you so laser focused. It removes all that noise, that chatter in your head. It lets you just get on with what you need to do. So it's really, truly so life-changing. I cannot even express to you until you've tried it, just how much of a difference that makes to your life. And so, bear with me. I've skipped a bit. One sec. Talking about injecting novelty and reward and interest into your day. I'm sorry, I forgot to add a couple of points there. ADHD style, see? Sometimes you just got to roll with it. Making things interesting. So I actually put out a bit of a poll. What do you do to make boring daily tasks more interesting? And we got some interesting answers that I wasn't surprised by, some I was surprised by. So a lot of it was things like putting on a podcast while you're cleaning your house or cooking dinner or folding laundry or even just watching Netflix, putting interesting music on. Like a lot of people will use a certain type of, like a certain genre of music to like hype themselves up and get themselves like really like, yes, I can do this. So that's obviously going to be different for everybody. We've all got different tastes. Depending on my mood, I'm a huge Taylor Swift fan, so I will quite often, if I'm feeling like I need a bit of nervous system regulation while I do my tasks, because she's familiar, I know all her albums, I will play that, much to my family's annoyance, because I do that a lot. It just helps me feel calm and in the moment and able to get on with things. And I've got certain strategies for certain tasks. So whenever I'm doing laundry, I put on my Kabbalah podcast. I'm a spiritual person, I follow Kabbalah, so I listen to that while I do my folding and my laundry. If I'm doing a big house clean, I'm putting on different podcasts. I love to learn, so whatever I'm interested in at the time, I'll start listening to that. Somebody actually said, which I thought was really funny, was they get their partner to hide treats around the house so that as they're cleaning they find them. So that really adds to that reward and novelty and interest, actually, which is quite funny. A bit like when you get your kids to clean, you might hide treats around the house. And sometimes you do have to treat your ADHD like a little kid and try and give it a bit of reward and interest for doing stuff. And so there are loads of strategies that can be implemented to try and make the boring tasks more interesting. And going back to the music thing, if I'm trying to concentrate on something that I need to really use my brain for, I might put on some like piano music, something that just kind of brings me down and quiets my brain, something without lyrics, otherwise I'm going to be singing along, not doing the task that I was supposed to be doing. And so what I want you to imagine, we've talked about all the really challenging stuff, how hard it can be to have ADHD. I want you to imagine now, let's go to the positive side. These are all the strengths that you can bring out of yourself. Having daily mental clarity and focus, just waking up and knowing what to do and not bouncing from task to task and being like, what was I doing? Where am I going? Who am I? What day is it? Starting one task, starting another task, being all over the place. You're just going to go about your day and just do the thing, which is amazing. It feels incredible when you can just do the thing. Having zero food noise, this is massive. It's so common for ADHDers to have struggles with emotional eating, overeating, binge eating. Our brains are just constantly seeking dopamine. We're always looking for a reward. And again, if you've got that inflammation that I was talking about a minute ago and the brain fog, it's so hard to make good food choices. And when you're stressed and you're overwhelmed and you're exhausted because you've been trying so hard all the time, no wonder at the end of the day you're like, give me the ice cream, or give me the pizza, or the wine, or whatever it is that you turn to, because I just need something to make my brain feel good again, because I just feel so burnt out. So that's gone. No more of that. That's healed. Having supportive, nourishing relationships. So I don't know about anybody else, but I had a really hard time with relationships for a long time. My relationship with my partner, I mentioned we broke up temporarily about 9 years ago. Our relationship was explosive, like constant arguments. We didn't know how to communicate with each other. We broke up so many times because it was a mess. We didn't know how to communicate. Like I said before, I fell out with a couple of family members. We didn't know how to communicate. It just felt like everything was falling apart. And I think when we've got things like rejection sensitive dysphoria, which is when if you perceive somebody is rejecting you, it can feel like this soul-destroying catastrophic event, rather than it might just be like, no, I don't feel like going out tonight, or can I call you actually tomorrow? I don't want to speak today. Anything really simple can feel like they don't love me anymore. Oh my God, this is it. We're over. The relationship's gone. They hate me, and you feel just destroyed. That can melt away. You can have healthy relationships. You can learn to communicate clearly and calmly and take on constructive criticism without it feeling like it's going to shatter you. And imagine having the confidence to pursue your goals without burning out. So when you've spent your whole life being told that you have to function like a neurotypical, you have to try harder, you have to do more, make a list, set a reminder. Do all this stuff that works for neurotypicals but doesn't work for us, and you've been trying and trying and trying and trying, and you feel like you're constantly failing, it can be really hard to trust yourself, and it's hard to want to pursue anything when you know that it's going to exhaust you. And so flip that. Actually, you do have the confidence to achieve your goals because you know how to do it without exhausting yourself, without doing it like a neurotypical, without being consistent. You can do it in your own time, in your own method, in your own strategy, and it's just going to work because it is going to work. because you get to have that. And so understanding your brain and how it works so that you don't have to keep trying to function like a neurotypical person. Because once you do understand your brain, that's how you make progress, that's how you achieve your goals, and that's how you do it without burning out. There's nothing wrong with the ADHD brain, it just functions differently. We've got a different neurology, a different physiology, a different biochemistry. None of it's wrong. It all really benefited us in hunter-gatherer. I'm pretending I'm holding a brain, by the way. It really benefited us when we were hunter-gatherers. We were quick thinkers, we were quick movers, we made quick decisions. All of the things that are disordered in the modern world are actually what worked really, really well for us when we were hunter-gatherers. And so once you understand those mechanisms, then you can learn how to implement them as strategies for succeeding in the modern world. You just got to kind of try and rearrange your life around the way you function. And it doesn't have to be an overnight haul, you know, it's not this dramatic thing. It can be a slow progress, but everything will click into place once you understand how your brain works. And imagine actually loving your ADHD. So once you've been through this process of nourishing your brain, understanding how it works, learning how to communicate effectively, overcoming your RSD, learning how your ADHD is actually like a gift, then you learn to love it. I went from wishing someone could just take it away from me. I would have given it. I would have given it away. If somebody would have said to me, "I will take your ADHD. You're cured," I'd have been like, "Take it. I don't want it." But now, I'd be like, "No, thanks. Like, this is who I am. This is why I'm great at what I do. This is why I have the passions I have. This is why I'm so focused. This is why I'm so relentless. This is why I'm so anything that's me. I would not give it away now." And so you can reach that point. You really can. With all of this process that I'm talking you through now, you can reach that point. Feeling genuinely content with your life because you finally got it figured out. Oh my God. If you'd have told me 10 years ago that everything I have now, the relationships, the family, the joy in my career, the passion, I probably wouldn't have believed you, because I just thought I was never going to amount to anything. I never believed I could achieve anything. I thought I was broken. So reaching a point where you're genuinely content with your life is like magic. Please don't. Just 2 minutes, I'm nearly finished. Can you take it? Sorry. Sorry.
Interrupting. I'm trying to do this stuff.
Thank you. Put me in prison. Sorry. And living in calm, not chaos. Oh my God. Okay, so apart from kids, because my life is chaotic, because I have 6 neurodivergent kids. But I mean in your head, you know, having that calm in your head. Not feeling like your thoughts are bouncing around, they're not racing, that constant chatter. I'm not saying that's going to necessarily go away, but it can quieten and it can slow and it can feel less overwhelming. And you can just go through your day. One of the things a lot of people with ADHD who start medication say is, "Oh my God, I can't believe how quiet it is. I can't believe how easily I can just do stuff now." And that can be the case. I'm not against medication. I actually love the right medication. I think it's awesome. But you can achieve that also with all the steps I've just laid out for you. If you don't want to take medication, or if maybe you're not diagnosed so you can't access it, or like me, you're breastfeeding and so you can't get hold of it, then you can still produce the same results. Obviously it takes a bit of learning and a bit of effort, but you can produce the same results. And even if you take medication, which I fully support, it's still not the only piece. Like, there are still bits missing. You still need to understand how your brain works. You still need to learn how to communicate. And I'm not saying communicate like a neurotypical. I just mean learning to maybe just slow your thoughts a little, consider what you're saying. And also, I think more so, learning to take on board what people are saying without allowing it to hurt you, because that's, I think, a huge part is the RSD. Just feeling everything so deeply can make communication really difficult. I can't remember why I said that. Oh, the chaos and the calm. See, you still have your moments. Because of medication, yes. So learning all of this and how your brain works and nourishing yourself properly, because nutrition, regardless of medication or not medication, or ADHD or not ADHD, like, it is the foundation of your life, regardless of any neurotype. if you want to succeed in life, you've got to have good health. I mean, if anyone's got a chronic health condition here or has been severely ill, you'll know what it feels like to have lost your health. And nutrition plays a huge, huge role in our ability to thrive. And so what I want to talk to you about today, my exciting announcement, is the launch of the ADHD Body Bible, which is my new membership that I'm launching today. You can have access from today. Well, you'll have access from next week, excuse me. But you can sign up today. This is your home of thriving with ADHD. It's where I'm going to teach you how to stop hating your ADHD and start harnessing it. I wish you could see the slides. Each month of the membership is going to introduce you to new concepts that help you understand the neuroscience of ADHD so you can work with your brain, not against it. How to nourish your brain for ultimate calm, clarity, confidence, mood and sleep, literally everything. Create healthy, loving relationships, succeed in business and career, prioritize your well-being, no more burnout, doing this your way, advocate for yourself calmly and confidently. And this plays into the communication piece. You know, a lot of people make assumptions and misunderstand us. Being able to advocate for yourself and explain why your brain works the way it does and how it works can really help people understand you better and kind of go a bit easier on you, give you a chance, you know, to function the best way for you. Embody a sense of self-confidence and positive self-talk. This is huge. I don't know about you, but I used to talk to myself like a piece of crap, and it affects every single thing you do. So learning to speak to yourself positively and compassionately, it just impacts everything. And claim control of your life in a way that honours your ADHD. So again, it's looking at your energy cycles and the way you focus, and honouring the way your brain works so that you can work with it. Everything about your life needs to honour your ADHD so that you can thrive in every area, whether it's family or business or career or relationships, money, health. Just you matter is what I really want to say. And so all of this underpins you thriving as a human being. And the ADHD Body Bible membership is literally the only one that honours your ADHD and your well-being, rather than just trying to make you function better or more like a neurotypical. I did the research before I created the membership, just to see what was out there, and everything is about body doubling and be more productive and here's how you can do more. And it's all very much that plays on our desires. We all want to be able to do more and be more productive, and that's fine, but it doesn't focus on actually let's work with your energy cycles, let's get you nourished, let's get you making sure you're prioritizing your own health so that functioning better and being more productive becomes a natural outcome rather than something that you're forcing, which is exhausting. You've been forcing your whole life, you don't need to be doing it anymore. So inside the membership I've got your rundown for the year here. Month 1 we have understanding your ADHD brain. Month 2 we've got nourish to function, nutrition for the ADHD brain. Month 3 move to thrive, exercise, sleep and recovery. They're so vital for ADHD. Month 4 we've got emotional regulation and nervous system balance. So to bring calm into your life, and this, you know, your emotions can be really, really up and down with ADHD, and this is going to help you just simmer it down. And the same with your nervous system, removing that anxiety, the stress, the overwhelm, that constant sense of urgency that we walk through life with. Month 5, my cat is coming to join us now. Month 5, self-esteem, identity and self-compassion. Huge, again, like I just said, the way you talk to yourself, the way you think about yourself, what you believe about yourself is going to impact every area of your life. Month 6, overcoming emotional eating. Again, this is a massive thing that a lot of us face with ADHD, is that compulsive urge to eat everything always. So we'll be going through the holistic way of overcoming that, both in habits, in mindset, in nutrition, in finding ways to regulate your emotions. You'll have already done a little bit of this in month 4. So it really considers mind, body. It's not just have more willpower, stop eating the food, because like no shit, we've all tried that. So it's really going to help you get to the root of that issue. Month 7 is going to be communication and relationships. So again, the people around you are everything, aren't they? You know, you matter, of course, but you need to have these stable relationships, not only for a support system, but for success at work or career, everything you do, whether it's talking to your kids' teachers, you know, being able to have healthy communication is really important for every area of your life. Month 8, boundaries, people pleasing and assertiveness. Another one that's really hard because we've been so criticized our whole lives. It can be really hard actually to set boundaries, and people pleasing becomes the way we exist because we just want people to stop criticizing us all the time. And because we already feel not good enough, setting boundaries can feel like, oh my God, I'm a bad person. I can't do this. Like, I have to just let people do whatever they want. So really, really important. We are actually, unfortunately, more prone to being in abusive relationships as neurodivergent people, and so that boundaries and people pleasing and assertiveness is going to be really helpful for kind of stepping back when we see those red flags as well. Month 9, working with your energy rhythm. So as I mentioned earlier, our energy is not like a flat line consistent. We're like high energy, low energy, high energy, low energy. And there is actually a way that you can learn to work with that so that you can get more done. And it's not about fighting it. It's about going with it when you're feeling high and full of energy and feeling really focused and productive and enjoying that moment. And then when the energy level reduces, go with that too instead of fighting it. I think when we reach that low, we get terrified and we think, oh my God, I'm never going to do anything again. I'm behind. I'm not going to keep up. I'm failing. And that noise in your head. And so that's not true. So month, did I say 9? We're going to work on showing you how you can work with those rhythms to actually get more done without burning out. Month 10 is going to be focus, habits and productivity, ADHD friendly systems. So again, we're going to be looking at ways that you can get more done without burnout, how you can increase your focus, how you can build in habits that don't feel like forcing, because we can't force habits. I know you've tried schedules. I know you've tried. I know all of this. This is going to be about working with your own brain and creating habits a bit more naturally with less force. Month 11, finances, career and business with ADHD. So I know a lot of us are very entrepreneurial. But again, trying to run a business like a neurotypical person doesn't work. I tried for years. Doesn't work. I did not get anywhere. And so whether you want to be in business or you want to progress your career or you just want to be better with your finances, month 11 is where we're going to dive into how you can do that successfully as an ADHDer. Getting those systems in place to help you manage things better and how to progress and find success. And if you're multi-passionate like me, we will be covering how you can successfully be multi-passionate and not feel like you have to stick with one thing like everybody tells us to. You don't need to. And then month 12, we're going to look at parenting and long-term thriving. So a lot of us are parents. If you're not a parent, maybe you want to be. If you don't want to be, no worries. We're still going to look at your long-term thriving. So it's going to be things like honestly protecting yourself as a neurodivergent parent, because it can be overwhelming. Kyla, excuse me. Could you put some milk in here for him, please? Thank God, 15-year-olds. Go to Kyla. You go see Kyla. That's it, yeah, go see Kyla. Protecting your own boundaries, teaching your kids how to set boundaries, helping your kids understand their neurodivergent brains too, so that they can advocate for themselves. Trying to keep the home, I'm not going to say calm because it's not going to be calm, but really just setting yourself and your children up for long-term thriving. So that is month 12. Haven't planned more than 12 months yet because that's a huge amount of content. And so what I have for anybody watching this and for the next 7 days, when doors are open, I will pin the comment actually of the website. Can I do that? Yes. You are going to get, bear with me, let me put this in the comments so you can see it. I'm sorry if you're looking at my nose right now, by the way. Bear with me, that calm flesh.
There we go.
There we go. Save. Right, I'm hoping that has been added. As a founding member of the membership, you are going to get, and this only lasts for 7 days, lifetime founding member pricing. So when you sign up today or over the next week, the price you get for the tier you choose will be locked in forever. So I really encourage you to take this opportunity to do that. 3 months of Transformation Lab coaching for free. So our top tier of the membership includes weekly group coaching. When you sign up this week or over the next 7 days, you will get that included for 3 months at no extra cost. Private Finding members Ask Me Anything calls. So you've been through some of the content, you're a bit confused, you need some help, you want some personal feedback. That's cool, we're going to be on those calls, you can ask me anything and I'm going to help you. You get to help influence future modules and shape the program. So the order that I've set it out in, it's not set in stone. We're going to move through progressively, but if you go, actually next I think we should do this, then my Finding members have the opportunity to help me reshape the course, add the content that you think is the most helpful. You're really going to be in there building this with me, which is going to be incredible. You get close proximity support from me during the intimate finding phase. Whilst it's small and building, you're going to have my time and attention basically, because it's not going to be a massive membership right away. So you get that really high level support without paying high level prices. You'll get 20% off all future one-to-one coaching, workshops, retreats, anything I launch in future. For as long as you're a Finding member, you're going to get 20% off of everything else I ever launch. You'll have your nice little Finding member badge inside the community. You'll have early access to all new content and challenges. And you can be a part of shaping a movement that improves the lives of other women with ADHD, which I think is incredible. You know, you're going to have the opportunity to share your learnings and your experiences and everything you've been through and what you've worked through and healed from. And that's going to go in there and it's going to help other women too, which is so important. So you have until the 4th of December to sign up as a Finding member and receive all of that. The tiers and the pricing on the website, sorry. So we have the Thrive Starter tier, which is, well, let me scroll to it. Bear with me. You get the full library of modules, lessons and tools, any PDFs I upload, any videos that have been recorded, whether pre-recorded or live. This is really good if you want to do this at your own pace. If you want to just kind of quietly step into personal development, dip your toes in, see what it's all about, and that is going to be £29 a month for Finding members. It will usually be £39 a month. We've got the Here We Grow tier. This is £49 a month. Everything in tier 1 plus monthly live coaching and Q&As, implementation workshops, habit support frameworks, gentle accountability check-ins, and priority access to new content. So if you're feeling like, I really want to do this, I want the support, I want to do this with a group of other women doing the same thing, that makes such a huge difference to the way you progress through the content. It helps you stay accountable naturally. There's no pressure. There's never going to be me kind of going, have you done your work yet? Like, this is for you. This is for your benefit. I'm here to support. And doing it with a group of other women doing the same is incredible. So that one will be £89 after the Founding member week launch. So that's basically half price, which is incredible. And then we've got the Transformation Lab, which is everything from tiers 1 and 2, plus weekly small group calls, personalised guidance, hot seat coaching, troubleshooting your nutrition, emotional eating patterns and routines in real time, private WhatsApp chat, so that we can chat every day and I'll be checking in and you'll get my support and feedback. That one, the Founding member price is £179 a month, and it will be £229. So what I would say is, if you're interested in that tier, although you're going to get access to that for 3 months if you sign up this week, it's worth signing up to that one this week anyway, because obviously then you'll lock in that slightly lower price. So all the information is on the website, which I have attached to this live. Hopefully you can see it. If not, I'll come and pop it in the group anyway. Have a scroll through the page, get all the information you need, and please do pop me a message if there's anything you need to know, if you want some clarity on anything, if you're not sure which one's the right option for you, if you're not sure if this is the right membership for you, is it going to really help you, please do message me. I'm more than happy to chat with you. No heavy sales tactics, Just if it's right for you, cool. If it's not, cool. And if you have any questions, pop them in the comments here and I will come back and answer them. I hope this was really helpful for you. Please do leave your feedback. Let me know what you learned, what was most helpful, any questions, and I will come and check in and have a chat with you. Bye.